Good morning, everybody. Sorry that we've been absent, but once again, life and commitments takes over. And we have got a squad holiday next week as well, so hopefully we can still do one next week. How are we all, guys? Before we start, how are you, Ruby?
Okay.
How you doing?
All right. Same old.
Everyone wants a bit of a general chit-chat today with life and what's going on. I've just literally had a meeting with the attendance officer, which never goes down too well with them, because I am one of these parents that will be the person that decides if my child's ill or not. I won't send them to school and wait for someone to tell me they're unwell when I already know that. But other than that, life on my side is same shit, different day.
Same. Ain't it always?
We've got a few subjects to talk about, which people have messaged in. So once again, it's a array of different stuff.
You won't prep me again.
No. I've just gone through my phone this morning. I'm like, quick, write it down, what they've said. So the first one is mental health, does medication help? With this particular subject, I feel like each individual is different. I was on medication for years. We just couldn't find one that worked for me. And I found with all the ones that I had, I was very flatlined. Someone could say, your mum's died. And I'd be like, oh, is she? Or someone would say, you've won the lottery. And I'd be like, oh, have I? Like,
yeah,
you know, there was nothing. Not that my personality is great, but it was very boring on medication. So I chose to stop medication about 8 years ago now, which when you're on meds, you don't feel nothing. And when you're not on meds, it is dealing with the things that trigger you and coping with things and all stuff like that. So sometimes I get overwhelmed with it and feel like I can't cope. And do I need to go back on meds? I do question it sometimes, but I haven't. But some people have to be on meds, and that's absolutely fine. It's just everyone's completely different, and it's finding the right one.
I think meds, like, I'd be like, but wouldn't that stop me worrying? Then if I didn't worry, then what if that is going to happen? Or who's going to worry about my kids if I'm not?
The problem's always there, but while you're on meds, you can't deal with the problem or look at it in a different way or try to learn how to live life with certain thoughts and feelings. But I know some people, genuinely, it is overwhelming and it's hard. It's very, very hard. So that's really the only advice I can give, guys, on medication and mental health, is just my experiences. This one, I read it this morning and I thought, that's quite a tricky one. So out of everything you own, what is the one thing that you couldn't live without? And what's the one thing you wouldn't mind living without? The one thing that I wouldn't mind living without is phones. I'd love to go back to back then.
But when your kids are out and not knowing where they are and that, I love that. I love to be able to...
I think if phones just stopped, but I mean, if it was still like how it was when I was younger, we grew up that way, so we was used to that. Obviously now, because we've got phones, we know we can track them, we can text them and all stuff like that. But back in the day, you used to just go out, hang out with your mates and come home when the lights come on. Like, that was it. But I'd quite happy go back to a couple of emails and some landlines.
Faxing. What was it you used to have?
Pager. He was like, how old are you?
A pager. That just reminds me of like when you're watching a doctor's programme and they're like, oh, I'm being paged. Yeah.
Bing, bing.
I wouldn't even know how to use that.
The one thing that I couldn't live without, the person that actually messaged me this said that the one thing they said is their washing machine.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking car. I don't think I could live without a car.
Yeah.
Imagine not being able to drive. I couldn't be bussing or walking. Mine. Do you know what I think about having a car as well? Like, imagine if you was like, right, well, I want to go to the shops today. I need to pop in Primark. If you had to do that and you didn't have a car, that's your whole day
of travelling
to get up there to go and get a pair of socks to come. Like, your whole day. I could run there and be back in half hour and I've got the socks I need. Like, I just couldn't. Not with all my tribe as well. Not have a car.
The one thing that I couldn't live without, I don't know, you know. I think a car, like, is up there.
Car, washing machine, coffee.
Coffee, cigarettes.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that, but, you know.
And the one thing that I could... What's the one thing you wouldn't mind living without?
Don't know.
Mine's definitely phones. I just feel like they're...
I wouldn't mind living without, like, a smartphone. You know, like just having a phone
to communicate.
To call and text.
I saw something the other day and it was like, do you remember, you might not because you're a baby, when you used to wait till after a certain time on your landline?
Because it was a free call. I remember
you have to
that.
put it down at 59 minutes to restart it again. And now we all pay for unlimited minutes to not talk to anyone.
I don't ring anyone. I ring my mum, that's it.
My mum was the only one that...
You used FaceTime as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're a proper FaceTime family.
Yeah.
Never. If we FaceTime, it's to show something. Or my mum will say, FaceTime is for Dixie, because obviously
we communicate through FaceTime. We don't communicate through a normal call, unless the FaceTime... She goes, I'll ring you because FaceTime's shit, like, if it's cracking up or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we are FaceTime.
I don't FaceTime, ever. FaceTime. I'm like, what do you want? What do you want to show me?
Why are you ringing me?
Why am I seeing your face?
So, the one thing that I wouldn't mind living without is a phone. I think that goes on to the next one, because someone's mentioned about bullying at school. And I feel like, now, see, back in the day, bullying used to be just at school.
At school. You went home and it was done.
And it was done, unless you kind of saw them out in the street or whatever. But bullying now is... You can't get away from it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're on social media or someone's got your phone number. Like, bullying isn't just in school building anymore. It is.
That's why we're a bit more on it with Delilah, with social media and just like, don't ever take a picture of yourself and put it in. Even like, say, I would use it as an example, like, you've done silly makeup or something and you want to take a picture of yourself and you put it in your group chat of your friends. Someone could then take that, send it elsewhere, and you think it's a joke with your friends, but then it'll move on. She ain't the type of kid that'd laugh that off and be like, "Oh, it's funny, I was joking around."
Yes, mine can't live without social media because I've allowed them to have it. But we had an incident once where someone that Tiger was friends with went on Google and got the map, like bird's eye view of the property, and then pointed everything out and entrances and all stuff like that. And then Tiger come in my room and I was like, give me your phone now. So I text the girl that said, I'm coming round your mum's house. And then she was like, oh no, I was only joking, I'd never send it to people, blah blah blah. And I was like, it's just fucking weird.
Yeah,
like that is weird. And then that's why I was trying to explain to Tiger, like, people that you think are your friends right now might not always be your friends. Situations change, like, and for her to do that, like, even as a joke.
Why is she so interested?
That's just, why would you? I just find it very weird.
Yeah, so do I.
Even as a joke, like, do you get what I mean? Like, why is that fucking normal? And that's what I say to the kids, because they all have their Snapchat and they're all on a group and they've all got their own locations and all that. Like,
sharing location. I feel like we should do that. Where are you, Braid? Oh, no, we are.
We should do it.
Yeah.
But they do it all on Snap and I'm like, why do you, like, I make them turn it off. Is yours off?
You're right.
But every so often I'll say to them, go on your Snapchat and let me have a look at the location thing to make sure it's off, because I don't get Snapchat
either though. Like, it's all... Is that social media? Ain't that just like a chatting?
It's a form of social media.
You can put a story up, but you can't...
But the thing is with the kids, is when I said to them, right, I'm taking all your Snapchat, we'll have a month for nothing. How am I going to speak to people?
Yeah.
I was like, through WhatsApp, through text messages. They ain't got
their numbers and that, have they?
And I was like, but we ain't got no one's numbers. So I was like... And it's like, you know, like back in the day, you used to be like, oh, what's your phone number? Yeah. Now it's like, what's your Snap? What's your Snap?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't get it.
But bullying at school is... I hate bullies anyway.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes schools... See, to me, I feel like if you go to a school and you don't find them very fucking helpful, my next protocol is going to the mum.
Yeah. Yeah, straight up I would. I'd like to think, even if I weren't going to go around there guns blazing straight away, that this is a mum of a child of the same age as mine. Maybe we could just...
Because if someone's thrown me... I've had it when someone's thrown me and said that one of mine was being horrible to someone. And it makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
So I think, how can my child be like that? Like, I don't bring them up like that. And they get really reprimanded for it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have that either.
But I find, you know, like when you get a parent and you say something, they're like, I don't think she'd do that. You know,
why is there always parents that think their kids can't do no wrong? I'm not even like that. Like, it takes me a lot before I'm going to have a row with someone. But Delilah with that girl when she was in year 6, and the mum was like, oh no, you know, they're young girls, and Delilah said something and now she regrets it. I said, I'm telling you now, I know my daughter and I know that she didn't say that. I know she was devastated, crying her eyes out, because apparently she'd said she wished someone's mum was dead. Something stupid, proper stupid. But the way that the mum reacted, and you know Delilah. In the end, I was like to her, I wasn't even that bad. My mum was like, you kept your cool, because I would have gone worse.
I was like, give me her number.
Yeah.
I'll fucking message her for you.
I was like, good luck in secondary school, and I really hope she learns to be a nice child, because she's not. And I hope you get it as well. Oh, I can't remember. But I just thought I'd come to her to be like,
look,
this has happened. And to not even tell your daughter off.
But there are parents that do.
Yeah, kids can't do any wrong.
They're very, blasé about it.
Yeah. I hate that.
Right, next subject. This is, I feel like this is like the main subject of the thing. So this is very, and I think our opinions might be a little bit different.
Okay.
But this is very relevant to, like, in my relationship, and I know there's going to be loads of other people out there as well. So, do you feel you should ask for permission to change or add things to your body from your partner?
Partner, right. I would never ask permission, but I would say, oh, I was thinking.
And okay, so then if he said, I don't want you to get that.
I'd say, but I want to.
But if he said, but I don't want you to.
And then I'd probably leave it a little while and be chucking it in. And when I said, keep pushing it in the end I would probably say, oh, I really want that. And I feel uncomfortable not having it and I want to have it, something done, say. Then I know he'd be like, I really don't think you should, but if it's something that's going to make you feel better and you really want it.
See, my answer's no.
No, yeah. You would never even mention or...
No.
Yeah.
If I wanted a tattoo, I
tell him everything. Like.
Yeah, which I do tell Steve everything, but I do feel like... And because I've got loads of tattoos, I feel like if I add something, it doesn't make a difference. I could go and get one and he probably wouldn't even fucking
That's what I think with you.
But sometimes his reaction, and I think, calm down.
Yours is more like, now I'm going to get 10.
Yeah, don't tell me no. Because I was going in for one on my leg, I've come out with one on my face because you said no.
I've thrown it out.
But I feel like it's your body. So I know that, all right, maybe you should just drop it in there and just say, oh, look, I've booked a tattoo next week, or I'm thinking about this, and you know, but if someone says, well, I don't think you should, you know, Steve says to me now, I don't need to get any more tattoos because I think you're going to ruin what you've already got. And I'm like, but I love them. He met me covered. It wasn't like I met him bare and I slowly started adding.
Yeah.
He met me covered. So I feel like if I want to add something and I love it, and he's like, but I love the way that you are. And do you know another thing, right? That really...
You're going to dig out now?
No, I'm not going to dig it out.
Don't start on him.
Is that, you know when you're with someone, right, and then you go, oh, like, if I was to get really overweight, like, would you still love me? And they're like, of course I would. I love you for you, not what you look like.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was to have an accident and I lost
Why do we always say things like that? I always say that.
You know, and I go, I love you for you, not what you look like. So they love you for you in certain situations. And then when you want to willingly change yourself, their answer is, well, don't forget, I still need to love you. Like, I've still got to look at you. And
I've never thought of it like that.
And then I think, so on one respect, you're... Oh, it's the dog cleaner. Tell her I'll be 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
5. She's early. So do you get what I mean? I feel like, so in one respect, you're going to love me forever regardless of how I change. You know, when you get older and you feel like, oh, you're still going to love me when my boobs are all saggy. And
yeah, but you grow old together. So right. He's going to look like a wrinkled mess at the same time.
But then if you love me for who I am,
then it
what
shouldn't
I
matter.
add, I'm still the same
person.
Right.
But if Jack said to me, I fancy being bald, I want to shave on my hair, if I'd be like fuck are you?
That's the thing.
Do you know what I mean?
To do what we want.
Yeah.
If you want to change,
certain things,
pushing it a bit far.
If he said to me like, "Oh, I want this tattoo," and I thought I don't really like that, I'd be like, "Yeah, if you want it, get it." But bald, I don't know. If he went bald, I'd get used to it.
With Steve, like he's very, what's the word? I think I say stuff, and I think maybe his reaction gets my back up, and then I think, right, well.
But he would never stop loving you for anything or go against it for anything. If you lost both your legs, that's not a choice, is it?
So I think to myself, if you know that I'm going to do what I want anyway, why not just say, I think you got enough, but up to you.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like I've got to explain why I want to do what I want to do? It's my body.
Yeah.
This is mine. No one else's. Like, I am his wife. But this is my body. It's how I've always been. I think as well, growing up with strict parents.
You've probably got PDA and all. You know what we say about Win? That's you. They never tell you no to anything. Growing up with
strict parents. Like the day that I turned 18, I went straight to the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And I had a tattoo here. And then my mum was like, don't you think you need to slow down now? So I went straight back to the tattoo shop the next day and had My Life, My Way written on my arm. And that's just how I am mentally.
Yeah. See, I think because I'm never sure of anything anyway, I have to get opinions of other people.
And then you'll
like,
go,
what do you think?
Yeah.
But then if it was really like, if I did really want it.
If I wake up and think, right, I want a piece in here, I'm going to get it. I won't till I'll just go and book it in and go and get it. If I want to shave my hair off, right, I'll ring the hairdressers, cutting all my hair off today. Oh, yeah. I just do what I want to do with my body impulsively. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, some of my tattoos I think, what the fuck was I thinking? But they are all a moment in time of my life.
I don't think you have any that I think.
Back at some and think, I've got Elvis Presley that looks Chinese, so that's why I think I should have listened to the tattooist. He was like, Braid, you've got stretch marks. It's
not going to
sit
eyes.
Right. And I was like, but I want it there. So I've had it now. I've got a Chinese Elvis Presley. But
there's a story there. There you go.
But I feel like they're just me. So the question is, people, do you feel like, I think ask permission.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't.
Is maybe a bit of a strong word.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to get something done and your partner said, no, they won't like it or they don't like it, would you not
have it?
Or would you think, well, how I think, it's my body and I will get it?
Yeah. Yeah. Because even that leg tattoo, I said to Jack, and he was like,
speaking to a tattooist.
Have you? When are we going?
Sent pictures of me leg and that as well.
I'm coming.
So I'm not going to my other one. I'm going there's a woman that I wanna see.
Right, but he was like, no, I would like it. He was like, I don't think you should have loads. And I was like, well, I wouldn't want loads. I said, like, I'm not going to go straight in and just have a full leg.
Yeah.
Because I think that'd be a lot for me as well. Like, and I'd need to think about it and start with a little bit and then build it up.
Yeah,
so
that's how my leg sleeve started.
Plus, I ain't sitting there for 2 days in pain. Are you mad? £1,000 later. Ouch.
Kids are hungry. Sorry, guys, I'm skinned.
Yeah, sorry, guys. Don't it look pretty?
Right, guys, sorry, we're going to have to cut it short because my dog room is turning up early. But thank you for tuning in and listening. Please make sure you are subscribing. We will be back next week. Let us know in the comment sections all your answers and any questions for next week. And have a lovely weekend.